Every culture that has ever existed has looked up and asked the same question. What is above us? What rules? What returns? The answers came back in different languages, different names, different stories, but something runs beneath them that is not different at all. This is not about religion borrowing from myth. This is about orientation. When separate cultures point toward the same thing independently, the question is not who copied whom. The question is what they were all looking at. Norse mythology has a chief god named Odin, and the name itself is the first coincidence worth examining. In Norwegian, din means yours. O-din. The ring, yours. The bridegroom in the biblical narrative is defined by one possession, the ring. When the rider arrives, the name of the Norse chief god says, your ring, yours. How does it know? Odin trades his eye for wisdom. One eye given, sight lost on one side, wisdom gained. That is the solution to Christ's dilemma rendered in myth, the trade. If it gives, it takes. If it takes, it gives. The tree of life axiom alive in the Norse tradition centuries before anyone mapped the connection. How does it know? At the base of Yggdrasil, the world tree, a serpent gnaws at the root. At the top sits an unnamed eagle. Between them, a messenger runs with insults. Read the biblical tree the same way. At the root, the serpent. At the top, the rider with a name only he knows. Between them, the long argument of history. Torah begins with Thor, son of Odin. Tor backwards is root. Torah backwards is has root. What has root? The tree. Who claims to be the root? Christ. Odin hangs on Yggdrasil. The name in Norwegian, gir dag lus, gives daylight. Christ hangs on the tree and says he gives light to the world. Both hang, both give light. Same structure, different name. Thor fights the world serpent. Christ destroys it. Thor's hammer always returns to his hand. Christ's word always returns to him. The gods bind the beast with a chain made of impossible things. Christ binds the beast with the impossible itself, himself. These are not loose metaphors. They are structural correspondences. The same problem, the same solution, arrived at independently. But the hardest one to dismiss is Gungnir, Odin's spear. It is described with two specific attributes. It cannot miss its target, and it does not stop in its thrust. Experts will tell you this is fiction, a mythological weapon with impossible properties. But in the real world, there is something that cannot miss its target, the word that always returns to the one who sent it. And there is something that does not stop in its thrust, the one who opens and no one can shut. When the world tries to exclude him, tries to shut the door on the truth, he opens. The thrust does not stop. Gungnir is not a spear, it is the word, and the word is the rider, and the rider's name in the book of Revelation is the Word of God. The specific solution, not a general resemblance. The exact two attributes of Gungnir map onto the exact two functions of the rider. That is not the lottery striking once. That is the lottery striking on the same numbers across two completely separate traditions. Accident requires that every one of these correspondences landed randomly. The name, the eye trade, the tree, the serpent, the hammer that returns, the spear that cannot be stopped. The alternative is orientation, that what the Norse myths intuited, what they reached toward in the dark, was the same light the biblical narrative moves toward explicitly. The ring that rules all, hidden to everyone, revealed at the end. When the rider arrives, Odin's name already said it. Your ring, yours. How does it know?